ओम नमो लोये सर्वत्रिकावर्ति हरियंताणम। ओम नमो लोये सर्वत्रिकावर्ति सिद्धाणम। ओम नमो लोये सर्वत्रिकावर्ति आयर्याणम। ओम नमो लोये सर्वत्रिकावर्ति ओज्जायणम। ओम नमो लोये सर्वत्रिकावर्ति सावणम। ओंकारं बिंदु संयुक्तं नित्यं ध्यायन्ति योगिनं कामदं मोक्षदं चैव ओंकाराय नमो नमः। नमः समयसाराय स्वानुभूत्या चकासते चित्स्वभावाय भावाय सर्वभावान्तरच्छिदे अज्ञानतिमिरान्धानां ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। तीर्थंकरो जगतना जयवंत वर्तो ओंकार नाद जिननो जयवंत वर्तो जिनना समो शरण सौ जयवंत वर्तो ने तीर्थचार जगमा जयवंत वर्तो नमो ए तीर्थनायक ने नमो ओंकार नादने ओंकार संगरुतेणे नमो ते श्री कुंद कुंदने अहो उपकार जिन वरनो कुंद नो ध्वनि दिव्य नो जिन कुंद ध्वनि आप्य अहो ते गुरु काननो अहो ते भगवती मातनो ध्रुव अचल ने अनुपम गति पामेल सर्वे सिद्धने वंदी कहूँ सुत केवल भाषित आसमय प्राव्रत अरे हूँ एक शुद्ध सदा अरूपी ज्ञान दर्शनमय खर कहीं अन्य ते मारू जरी परमाणु मात्र નથી अरे जम नेत्र तेमज ज्ञान નથી कारक નથી वेद करे जाने जकर मोदय निरजरा बंद तेमज मोक्ष ने ओम नमः सिद्धेभ्यो ओम नमः सिद्धेभ्यो ओम श्री शुद्धात्माने नमः। Jai Jendra. Today is March 7, 2018, Wednesday, and we are continuing our discussion for Samaysar, and we are on Samaysar Gatha 13. We had started last time when we met, and I was going through the notes and everything, and there are certain points that, in fact, I also got clarified in my mind, and I think it will be better we just have some of those points go through it again quickly to understand exactly what Acharya Kunkun Acharya Dev wants to convey to us, and also what Gurudev Sri is trying to explain to us in such a simple and nice way. First thing first, that at least we were not able to meet for almost for 4 weeks because I had a problem with the internet connections there. Plus, I was also traveling time to time, and it was not possible for getting the proper internet and everything. So we missed those 3-4 weeks. Anyway, so without further delay, I'll bring the slides and then we'll see where we are. Okay. Share screen. Okay, here the screen in front of you, and we'll just go through that stanza quickly, and then we'll proceed further. Buddhathena bhigada jiva jivaya purna pavancha asava samvara nijjara bandho mokhoya sammattam ભૂતાર્થથી જાણેલ જીવ અજીવ વળી પુણ્ય પાપને આ સર્વ સંવર નિર્જરા બંધ મોક્ષ તે સામ્યક્ત્વ છે. In a simple heading in this stanza, it says, આ પ્રમાણે જ શુદ્ધ નહીંથી જાણવું તે સમ્યક્ત્વ છે, એમ સૂત્રકાર ગાથામાં કહે છે. The author says that the all the 9 elements to know with a pure point of view is Samyak Darshan. That one simple line for the heading of the stanza. But actually, the heading of the stanza had come in the slok number 7, which had said, હવે ત્યાર પછી શુદ્ધ નઈને આદિન સર્વદ્રવ્યોથી ભિન્ન આત્મજ્યોતિ પ્રગટ થઈ જાતે એમ શ્લોકમાં ટીકાકાર આચાર્ય કહે છે. Means whatever Kunkun Acharya Dev tells us over here, in this stanza over here, it says Samyak Darshan, right faith, means just to know from the pure point of view. But what is the pure point of view that was described in slok, Kalash number 7, which we had gone in detail. So we are not going to go to that thing again, but these are the things. Now, here, okay. So, Upodgat means the preface. Preface says, as I said, in the sentence alone, one sentence is given, but what it says, it means that author in this stanza says that to know the soul substance in that form, what is that form? From the pure point of view, by itself is a right faith. Means to know the soul from the pure point of view is an enlightenment, Samyak Darshan. Now, what does it mean? Further, if we analyze, it says one ends up knowing the soul substance independently. One has to know the soul so independent, without any attachment, without any relationship with any other substance of the universe. So, knowing the soul substance without any karma association means when we are looking at the soul from the modal point of view, then there is a karma association is considered. But when we see the soul from the substantial perspective, then we see the soul as an independent entity with no relationship with any other substance of the universe. And that's why Gurudev Sri kept on giving that principle. So few principles, 5 principles Gurudev Sri gave in a 45 years of his analysis on Samaysar, etc. 5 principles, and all those 5 principles, one principle was substance is independent and has no relations with any other substance of the universe. Now, that means when we talk substance, we are giving importance to the soul substance also, because that is dear and nearer to me. That soul substance I have to know completely, perfectly, but independently, without any association with any other substance. And that is the substantial perspective. Means dravyarthiknai, means looking from the dravya perspective. When one knows the soul from modal perspective, means when we are looking from the modes, of course the mode occurs in the substance. Mode are part and partial of this substance. And we have 2 vision, we can have 2 faith, modal faith, excuse me, or the substantial faith. When we have the modal faith, when we look from any substance from modal perspective, then principal cause, auxiliary cause relationship gets established. Means nimit namidik sambandh gets established. Means the association gets involved right now. For example, I have liking for something. I have a liking for my cell phone. Means I have the liking, means what is the liking? The cell phone becomes instrumental cause and I become a primary principal cause, and principal auxiliary cause relationship I establish. This phone doesn't say that you like me or you dislike me. I make the decision of like and dislike looking excuse me, making my faith to the modal perspective, looking from modal perspective. That means the now the other substance get involved. Principal cause, auxiliary cause relationship get established. And who is the closest, extremely closest to the soul? Who is extremely closest to me? Karma particle. The karma particle are matter particle, and they are extremely closely associated with the soul, and that's why the karma relationship get established. And because of that thing, divisions are created. And so that's a modal perspective. In substantial perspective, independently, we are looking at the substance. We have no karma relationship. We have no principal cause, auxiliary cause relationship. There are no divisions created. Simply indivisible, eternal, pure, perfect soul substance. And so when I look at it, when I bring my faith to that, that's called Samyak Darshan. This is all it says in the 13th stanza, basically. So author wants, Kunkunacharya Dev wants us to understand that you want Samyak Darshan, then you have to have a substantial perspective. You have to have the you have to have a soul substance in the indivisible pattern to be your aim. And with that thing, now I have a right faith. Further, it will say in the stanza that even knowing 9 reals, 9 elements, 9 tattva, Jeev, Ajeev, Punya, Pap, Asrav, Samvar, Nijra, Bandh, Moksha, 9 reals. If I know them exactly, what's a soul, what's a non-living, what's a auspicious inclination, what's an inauspicious inclination, what's an inflow, what's a bondage, what's a stoppage, what's a shading and liberation. All 9 elements, I know exactly the way they are. Still author says, Acharya Kunkunacharya Dev says, there is no Samyak Darshan. I knew everything. You want me to know. Further, when we just study in Tattvat Sutra, it will say, faith on the 9 reals is Samyak Darshan. And over here, Kunkunacharya Dev says, 9 reals to know in divisional aspect does not mean it's a Samyak Darshan. You mean two Acharya contradictory statement? No, it's not. It depends what perspective do I look at it. Umaswati Acharya in Tattvat Sutra says that Samyak Darshan means faith on the 9 reals. But into bracket, it says it's a conventional form of right faith. Samyak Darshan vyavahar nahi thiche. And we already studied in 11th stanza that vyavahar nahi abhutartha darsit suddha nahi bhutartha che bhutartha nahi asrita jeev sudrashti nischay hoy che. Means conventional point of view is there, but it is only for knowing purpose and not to put all my weight on it. The real thing is an absolute perspective. So 9 reals, 9 elements, 9 tattva, I have to know in an indivisible way, in the sense the eternal soul substance is hidden within those 9 reals. And I have to find that one, and I have to put the faith on that eternal, indivisible soul substance without any divisions within, and then it's called Samyak Darshan. Now, when I know those perspective, then I don't have confusion. Otherwise, I will say, Umaswati, this Acharya Bhagwan said this way, and Kunkuna Acharya Bhagwan says this way. So Whom do I believe? I don't want to believe in either of them. No. The burden of proof is on me, because I have to. When I don't understand does not mean Acharya Bhagwan wrote something not right. When I don't understand means it is my problem that I don't understand what Acharya Bhagwan wants us to understand. So burden of proof is on me. So we have to understand. So that's why this is just preface. Preface is one sentence, but then when we dissect the preface, we can have substantial view and a modal perspective, and then we know substantial perspective is only the one which is going to give me samyak darshan. Then we are given to the Gatharth, means meaning of the stanza, and in the meaning of the stanza, simply Acharya Bhagwan gives name of the 9 reals. He simply gives 9 reals name. So what is that 9 reals mean? Means Jeev means living. Now remember, over here in the beginning, see, this is a very important point. 9 modes. 9 modes. Word modes is very important, because we are looking at this soul from modal perspective right now. First, we have to understand what is modal perspective. Once I understand modal perspective, then Acharya Bhagwan will say, okay, put all those things on the side and come to the eternal soul substance, which is hidden in these 9 reals. So now I'm looking at all the 9 tattva, 9 elements, 9 reals from modal perspective. And remember, it's me Acharya Bhagwan is talking about. Me as a soul he is talking about. Me as a soul from modal perspective he is talking about. So every change is occurring, every reals, every element we are describing has to be given, has to be told from the soul's perspective, from my perspective, not from any material perspective or karma perspective. So Jeev means living. Living means what? Living is a soul substance, but I'm looking from the modal perspective. So soul having mode. And especially over here we can just say knowledge mode. Soul having mode, and that is called living. So when I say living element, now tattva, Jeev tattva.
Kirit uncle,
Yeah.
can I ask you a simple question? Doesn't every soul always have Jeev? Because if it isn't Jeev, it's in transition to go to the next Jeev, correct?
No, because soul is Jeev.
Okay.
Soul is Jeev, or Jeev means soul. Now, your question is well taken, because in a different philosophy, there are divisions created between Jeev and Atma, because they are divisions. But here in Jainism, soul means living and living means soul. Atma means Jeev and Jeev means Atma.
Okay.
So when I say living, Jeev means living, means soul, means this soul I have to see from the modal perspective. So Jeev means living, having the mode. Living, having a mode, that's all it is. Soul having a mode is called living.
Okay. That's better clarification. I like that. Thank you.
So we are talking from, remember, modal perspective. So Jeev can also be, means living can also be defined from substantial perspective. That's a soul which is there since time infinite. It's going to remain for time infinite. Was never created, will never be destroyed, is independent, has no relationship with any other substance of the universe. All those descriptions are from substantial perspective. When we are talking modal perspective, means that living being, that soul having a mode, and that mode is called living. Having said that, Now, what is ajiv? Means non-living. Remember, in conventional form, if we talk the way we are being taught in the Pathshala all along, that ajiv means the matter particle. This matter particle, this book is a ajiv, non-living. Over here in 13th stanza, non-living means, remember, everything has to settle with the souls and in its mode only, because one considers 9 modes of the living being. So this has to be mode of the living being, means in the soul's mode, when there is knowledge mode occurs about non-living. Means this is a matter particle. This matter particle, when I as a soul look at this matter particle, then this matter particle has the the illumination occurs in my knowledge mode. Just like in the camera, you are directing camera on a Grand Canyon. Whole Grand Canyon gets illuminated on the camera film or on my cell phone. Same way, this matter particle, that matter particle has illumination in my knowledge mode, and that illumination in the knowledge mode about this matter particle is called ajiv. We have to keep the central point in our mind that it has to be soul's mode. Whatever 9 reals you want to establish has to be in the soul's mode only. So non-living means, living means having the mode, period. Living means having mode, period. That's it. Non-living means mode of a non-living substance illuminating in my knowledge mode. So that's called ajiv. So that is really a very, very technical point. It has to be clear in our mind, because it's a crux of this stanza is having modal perspective and a substantial perspective. So first, Acharya Bhagwan is hitting very, very, very hard to us to say what is modal perspective. So living is a mode, non-living is a mode about non-living substance. Then punya means auspicious inclination, means mode of auspiciousness. I want to help somebody. I want to do reading. I want to do swadhyay. I want to do meditation. All those things are called auspicious inclination occurring in my mode. So that's a punya. Pap means inauspicious inclination occurring in my mode. Me as a soul, soul's mode, my mode. Whenever we say soul, it's not a third person. It's me. I'm talking. We are talking about. Acharya Bhagwan is talking about me. So, pap means inauspicious inclination, means mode of inauspiciousness. I don't like certain things. I hate certain things. I want to hurt somebody. I want to steal something. I want to have possessions of material particles and everything. All those things are called inauspicious inclination. Then comes astra, means inflow. Generally speaking, pap and punya means inauspiciousness and auspicious together, both are known as astra, means inflow. There's going to be a slide after this coming in which it will just define that why astra and pap punya both are described. Why are they described separately? Why not to put only astra and get it out with? We will have the reasoning next slide. But right now, for this slide purpose, inauspicious inclination and auspicious inclination both together are called inflow element. Where is this inflow element? Within me, soul, my mode. Okay, all right. Now, bondage. Bondage means inclination of attachment, etc. state has intensity. Remember, over here, they have the They have the Pap and Punya are known as Asra, but here intensity of the Pap and Punya, intensity of auspicious, inauspicious inclination, that is called bondage. That means I have an inclination regarding auspiciousness. That's called Asra. But how intense is that auspicious inclination? Just for the example, I have gone and saved a king, saved the prince of a king, and king is very, very happy with me. So that's one form of auspiciousness I did, is saving one life. There was the king has a whole family was in trouble, and I saved them. So that is the intensity of inclination of auspiciousness increased. And there was a war, and I saved the whole country from massacre. Then my intensity of inclination is that much more. So auspicious isn't there, but what is the intensity of it? For example, another example, that I want to go to temple today. Auspicious inclination. I want to go to temple and do the Swadhay and do the puja and abhishek also. My auspicious inclination intensity is somewhat more. What I want is I am going to get liberated in next two lives onwards. I'm going to get liberated, but along with my liberation, I want to make sure that countless other living beings also get liberated along with me. That kind of intense auspicious inclination, that has an intensity, it's the highest intensity, and at that time a living being gets bondage of Tirthankar Nam karma. Lord Mahavir, 2 lives before, he had that kind of an intense inclination, auspicious inclination, and because of that thing, he acquired Tirthankar Nam karma, and 2 lives down the road, he was born as a Mahavir, and then he became Tirthankar, omniscient Lord. So that's called bondage. Intensity of the inflow. How intense the inflow? We can just take on the side of on the other side of the coin. We can take inauspicious inclination. I had just bad feeling about something. That's a mild form of inauspicious inclination. I hate somebody. That's a moderate form of inauspicious inclination. And let's say that I had a bite of a scorpion, and I said whole scorpion species should be eliminated. I did that inclination. I did not do anything to the scorpion. That intense inclination. So those are the intensity of the inclinations are called bondage. Inclination alone is called astra, inflow, but intensity is called bondage. Okay, it's easy to understand. Now there's something comes in which samvar, nija, and moksha. Samvar means stoppage of karma. Material karma stops coming to the soul. Material karma stops coming to the soul, and that is called stoppage. Nijara means shading of karma, shading of material karma, that's called nijara. And then liberation means moksha, devoid of any material karma association with the soul. And that is 3 things. We put the asterisks and we say, see the next slide. Up until now, from living, non-living, auspicious, inauspicious inclination, inflow, and bondage, we kept on saying soul, soul, soul is the thing. It is occurring in my mode and everything. And here we are talking about material karma stop coming to the soul. Wait a second. Here you are saying modes of the living being. Suddenly, how does material karma come in picture? How does material karma coming in picture in nirjara? How does material karma come in picture in a liberation? That's why we have to see the next slide. It will give us the idea what those material karma association mean. I want to make sure that we understand. And these three things, somewhere nirjara moksha, we are going to talk from the living beings modes perspective in the next slide. But until now, if there's any question in understanding, please raise the question. Okay. If there's no question, then we are going to go to the next slide to see what it says. No. Now, one considers 9 modes of the living being. Remember, modes are very important words that we are looking to all the 9 real from modal perspective in a given soul substance. Now, in considering 9 reals, one takes the following understanding. When we just say 9 reals, we are following understanding is taken. In transmigratory state, soul has 9 modes of living, non-living, etc. Remember, transmigratory state means since time infinite, I keep on getting birth and death, birth and death, birth and death from the lowest form of living being to the highest form in the form of human being and everything. I am continuously wandering in this transmigratory state. So, this transmigratory state, this soul has a 9 modes of living, non-living, etc. Okay, further. These states are generated due to soul having intimate relationship with matter. Remember, here we are saying transmigratory state, number 1, and on top of we are saying 9 reals are taken, we are talking about the modes. So these states means modes, are generated due to soul having intimate relationship with matter, means material karma. Whenever we say matter in Samaysar perspective, matter means material karma because they are extremely closely associated with the soul substance. How close? Well, I have physical body also, but this physical body is relationship with the soul from time of birth till time of death. And at the time of death, this physical body gets separated. At the time of birth, this physical body comes into association with the soul substance. So association and dissociation last till the lifetime only. And after the lifetime, body gets separated. But karma particle has so close relationship with the soul substance that when the soul is leaving this body, this soul is leaving this body and going somewhere else in the transmigratory state, or it is going whatever. Transmigratory state means it's going to take birth somewhere else. Then karma particles go along with the soul. So even when my physical body comes to an end over here, my soul goes to other realm of existence. This soul is going to be in a heaven or hell or subhuman category. At that time, karma particle also go along with the soul because they are closely associated. So these states are generated, 9 reals are generated due to soul having intimate relationship with matter particle, karma particle. And these states are called deluded states of the soul because we are talking association with the material particle. We are talking association with the karma particle. And that's why it's called deluded state. To experience soul in this state is a wrong faith. If I want to experience soul in the modal perspective, I want to experience the soul in this association with the karma particle. I want to experience soul in the deluded state. All those things are called the wrong faith, which I'm carrying since time infinite in the past. that state is a wrong faith. Stoppage, shading, and liberations are considered from karma perspective. In the previous slide, when we talk, let's bring that slide. In this slide, when we say stoppage of karma, material karma, stoppage of karma, somewhere means material karma stop coming. Niyajana, shading of karma means shading of material karma. Liberation means divide of material karma. We are talking all these three things, somewhere Niyajana moksha in relationship to material karma. So when that material karma we are talking, then we are considering stoppage, shedding, and liberation from karma perspective, from modal perspective, from deluding perspective. Furthermore, 9 reals are described from conventional perspective. When we say modal perspective, means conventional perspective. What does it mean? Means all 9 reals are described from conventional perspective, means division or modal perspective. Me as a soul has a mode of living and non-living, and auspicious inclination, inauspicious inclination, inflow, bondage, stoppage, shading, liberation. All those 9 elements I'm talking of modal perspective. So these are modal perspective, or it's called divisional perspective, or it's called conventional perspective. व्यवहार नहीं अपेक्षति akathanche. This sentence is having the relationship with a conventional perspective. And remember, in a 11th stanza, we already talked about it, that vyavahar ne abhutartha darshit, means conventional point of view is not a real one as when we compare it with the absolute point of view. So conventional point of view is not a real one as we are comparing with absolute point of view. So now all 9 elements are described from bondage related state of the soul since time infinite. Now, what does bondage related state? What does bondage related state means? Bondage either present or absent. Bondage over here, we can just put the word karma also. Karma being present or absent. In the sense over here, it makes clarification. Over here, stoppage, shading, and liberations are defined from karma expectation perspective. Remember, auspicious inclination, good karma fruition is related. Inauspicious inclination, bad karma fruition is related. And bondage means intensity is also related with material bondage. Now here we're talking stoppage, shading, and liberation. They are my modes, pure mode. But they are defined here from karma expectation perspective. Now, you are already saying stoppage means purity beginning in the soul. Shading means increase in the purity, and liberation means perfect purity occurring. And when we are talking from karma expectation perspective, then we say, when we are saying, when we say over here, karma perspective means karma stop coming to the soul. Karma coming to the soul. Over here, stoppage means karma coming to the soul gets stopped. Shading means karma which were present on the soul, they get shed off. And liberation means karma associated with the soul are completely washed out. So here we are talking karma expectation. Over here in this one, previous slide, when we say samvar, nijara, moksha, karma stop coming, karma start shading, karma gets totally liberated, means we are using that perspective over here. And at that time, what's the condition of the soul? In stoppage, soul has a purity beginning. Shading means the purity is increasing. And liberation means purity is getting perfect. But here we are using karma expectation. What does that mean? Karma's expectation is present, acting as an instrumental cause. But here, karma's expectation is present from as an instrumental cause. But here we are saying karma stopped coming. Karma starts shading. Karma got totally devoid of. But so karma is getting absent over here. And over here we are saying karma expectation is working as an instrumental cause because absence of karma acts also as instrumental cause for stoppage, shading, and liberation element. Karma expectation is there, but now in my stoppage, karma expectation is present as an absent as a cause. Karma could be expected in a present or in absent. Means when we talk about samvar nijara moksha, means we talk stoppage, shading, liberation from modal perspective. Modal perspective means association with the karma. Association karma, it's very easy to understand in an auspicious or inauspicious inclination or in the inflow or bondage. But in stoppage, shading, and liberation, what happens? Karma expectation is present in the form of negativity. Not being present is called absent, and they are also acting as instrumental cause. This is a perspective which will not be seen anywhere else except for Samaysar, that the expectation, instrumental cause expectation, nimit being present, or nimit can also be present in the form of absence. Does it make sense? When we go through the 5 inclinations of the soul, the Audayic Bhav means the soul is getting free, soul is getting inclination from the fruition of karma. Upshamik Bhav, soul is getting inclination from suppression of the karma fruition. Kshapshamik Bhav means partial purity, partial impurity. In that situation, soul is having that kind of inclination because part of the karma is present, part of the karma is absent. And Kshayik Bhav means karma being totally devoid of it. And that is called Kshayik Bhav, means an annihilation inclination. All those 4 types of inclinations, they are modal inclination, means related to the karma. Same thing over here, stoppage, sharing, and liberation. The karma acts as instrumental cause, but absence of karma acts as instrumental cause, because this is a modal perspective. If we take substantial perspective, soul is a pure and pure and pure, no relationship with any substance in the universe at all. But in the modal situation, soul appears to have relationship with the universal substances. For example, to understand this example, for this statement, the universe is having the innumerable space point, Asankhya Pradesh. In that innumerable space point, infinite souls are residing, and infinite times infinite matter particles are residing. In medium of motion, medium of rest, space and time, they are also residing. But for our practical purpose, we are talking soul and matter only. So in a limited space of innumerable space point, infinite soul substance and infinite times infinite matter particles is remaining. And each and every substance has one mode at a given time constantly, because a given substance cannot exist without having any mode. So infinite souls and infinite times infinite matter particles, they all have their modes occurring in a very narrow space of an innumerable space point. In this crowded space point, when I as a soul makes an inclination, at the same time, matter particles, infinite times infinite matter particles, some matter particles may also have a mode which appears to be facilitating my soul's mode. My mode is over here, and one of the matter particle, they also have the mode which appears that it is facilitating my soul's mode. And so principal cause, auxiliary cause relationship get established, even though both these modes are independent of each other. Now putting into perspective, me as a soul, I have the inclination of auspiciousness within me, and at that time the karma particle, they have the material auspicious karma particles mode giving fruition at the same time. They both are occurring independently, but it appears that here is a matter particle having auspicious fruition, auspicious karma fruition, and here my auspiciousness occurring within me, and they appear to have relations. They appear, there is no relation, but they appear to be occurring at the same time, and that's why I as a soul just put the accusation on this auspicious karma fruition, that because of the karma fruition I got this inclination. So same way here. Now these material particles, they have absence of karma fruition, and here me as a soul has a purity generated within me. So I put accusation on this material karma fruition having no karma fruition occurring as an instrumental cause. Means absence also can be act as an instrumental cause. Presence of karma fruition acts as instrumental cause, that's very easy to understand. But absence of karma fruition also acts as instrumental cause. And that's what it tries to tell us, that absence of karma fruition acts as instrumental cause for stoppage, shading, and liberation. And that's why in this slide we say that see the next slide, see next slide, see next slide. Means stoppage of somewhere means karma stops coming to the soul. Karma stops coming to the soul. There is no fruition of karma here. And purity got generated over here. That is called samvar. The reality occurred over here. But this reality cannot be perceived. So we are using the karma fruition, means absence of karma fruition, as instrumental cause. And that's why we just said material karma stop coming to the soul, that gives samvar. But material karma acting as instrumental cause, and samvar means purity occurring within myself alone. So that's why even though we use the word material karma over here, but that is only instrumental cause, and actuality it's a mode occurring within me. Purity started, that's a samvar. Purity increases, that's nirjara. Purity is complete, that's called moksha. But there is also association with the material karma, and that's why we have to put that asterisk over here. Now that makes sense, that we can go further. Now, over here, we just said something little, this auspicious inclination, inauspicious inclination, and inflow. If we just said inflow means pap and punya both coming together. Both together are known as asra. Means inauspicious inclination and auspicious inclination combined together are called inflow. Now, there is little understanding to make to understand over here why we have to use auspicious inclination, inauspicious inclination, and inflow. Why do we have to use three different elements where we can live with the two elements alone, pap and punya, or we can live with one inflow element alone? Why there are why there are divisions created and made three elements rather than two or one? Means inflow element, soul has inclinations. Inflow means soul is inclined, due to which there are material karma getting attracted to the soul. Inflow element means soul has an inclination. Because of that, material karma gets attracted to the soul. Soul acts as a magnet, for example. And these are the iron pieces over here. Iron pieces have no knowledge what to do, but this magnet makes the iron pieces get attracted to the magnet. So this inclination occurring in the soul substance means soul substance to start with has no charge, but inclination makes this soul substance get charged, and when it gets charged, it acts as a magnet, and it attracts the ion particles, it attracts the karma particle. So soul has an inclination and acting as a magnet, due to which material karma gets attracted to the soul. Okay, so that's a statement. Now, auspicious or inauspicious inclinations are included in the inflow element, as we saw in the previous slide. Auspicious, punya tattva, inauspicious, pap tattva, they are included in the inflow element, means asrav tattva. Punya tattva, pap tattva, asrav tattva ma include karela she. But in fact, there is some minor divisions is there, minor change, minor differences are there. What are those things? Then why then inflow element is separately described? If auspicious inauspicious inclinations are included in the inflow element, then why there is need for inflow element to be described separately? Remember, if you're talking to not adult class, but if you're talking to children's class, and children being very fearless, they'll be asking this question to us, and we should understand. Forget about somebody asking question. It should be clear in my own mind that why these auspicious inauspicious inclinations are included in flow, and then why do I have to describe them separately? So here, the reason is on the 12th spiritual development state, 12th gunsthanak, there is absence of all forms of deluding states. In the 12th gunsthanak, the deluding state comes to an end, means all the inclinations of attachment and inclinations of aversion, rag and dvesh, everything comes to an end. That's a completely absence of all the deluding state. Now, on the 13th spiritual development state, there is absence of all form of destructive karma. Actually, on 12th onwards, the absence of all destructive karma. All ghati karma are completely gone in the 13th spiritual development state. Now, still the presence of non-destructive karma, still there is presence of aghati karma present. And because of those aghati karma, inflow keeps on coming, even though deluding state is not present. Deluding state is the reason for auspicious and inauspicious inclination. But even though they are gone at 12 spiritual development state, still on 13 spiritual state and 14 spiritual development state, there is a presence of inflow because there is presence of non-destructive karma, there is presence of aghati karma. So ashram is present without pap and punya. So now it makes sense to us that pap and punya in inflow elements, there is this very fine separation is there. And that fine separation occurs in a 13 spiritual development state, 13 and 14 spiritual development state. So that makes sense. That's why punya and pap and inflow elements are described separately. Now we are coming to our subject here. 9 reals are considered and they are modes of the soul only. We are talking 9 reals from the soul's modes only. Auspices, inauspicious, inflow, bondage are impure modes of the soul. Okay, we know that. Stop at sharing liberations are pure mode of the soul. Okay, we are aware of it. And all 9 reals are the modes of the soul. So until now, whatever we discussed, we are talking about modes and modes and modes of soul. We are not talking soul from the eternal soul's perspective. We are not talking soul from the indivisible perspective. We are talking soul from the modal aspect, from divisional aspect, from 9 reals aspect. These modes are separate from the eternal true nature of the soul. Even though modes are occurring in the soul substance, they are separate from the eternal true nature of the soul. For an example, I have the house. In this house, there are bedrooms. The kids' bedrooms are there, master bedroom is there, several bathrooms are there, kitchen is there, living room is there, family room is there. So they are separate from the house. House is a one indivisible unit. And then all this bedroom, bathroom, etc., 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 they are separate. They are part of the house, but they have their own independent existence. Kids' bedroom is kids' bedroom, master bedroom is master bedroom, living room is living room, and so on and so forth. So, same way, modes are separate from, even though modes are part of the soul substance, but modes have their own individual existence. Now, souls are in, now we are talking capacity of the knowledge mode. What does knowledge mode can know? What's the capacity of the knowledge mode? So it says souls are infinite. Atomic matter particles are infinite times infinite. Samay, smallest part of the unit of a time, is called Samay, and past, present, and future Samay means I'm existing since time infinite in the past, I'm existing right now, I will exist in the future for time infinite in the future. So those times, those samays are third infinite. Souls are infinite, matter particle infinite, time infinite, samays are third infinite, and space point of the space point of the space are fourth infinite. Means infinite raised to 4. So it means huge amount. Now, one simple knowledge mode occurring for one transient samay, that knowledge mode of the soul occurring for one samay transiently has a capacity to know all this infinite space point, huge space point. It is a capacity to know them. Knowledge mode comes from knowledge attribute, and there are infinite attributes makes a soul substance. Knowledge mode comes from the knowledge attribute and the infinite attribute, but all these infinite attribute, when they are considered from the indivisible perspective, in a unity perspective, then it makes a soul substance. So, that soul substance, one makes aim for this eternal, indivisible soul substance. And when I do that, that's a pure point of view, and that gives a right faith. That gives Samyak Darshan. So definitely Samyak Darshan means, right faith means, from absolute perspective, to have the aim, go to the soul substance, which is an indivisible form of all these infinite attribute, having also knowledge attribute. That knowledge attribute is a capacity to know all these infinite space point. And that kind of soul substance, when I bring my faith, then it's called right faith. It's called Samyak Darshan. It's called absolute form of right faith. In the literature, it will also say that the conventional form of right faith, to know the 9 reals from divisional aspect, is called conventional right faith. But that conventional right faith can only be told to have conventional right faith when there is associated absolute right faith. निश्चय नहीं होय तो व्यवहार नहीं होय. Conventional perspective only exists when there is absolute perspective present. If there is no absolute perspective present, then it's not called conventional perspective.
હા જે કૃપાળુદેવ વ્યવહાર સંકેતની વાત કરે છે, સો વ્યવહાર સંકેત થાય તો પણ અર્ધપૂતગલ પરાવર્ત કાળ બાકી રહે. પણ વ્યવહાર સંકેતમાં સ્વરૂપનું સ્વસંવેદન નથી.
તો એને વ્યવહાર સંકેત નહીં કહેવાય.
હા,
તો એને વ્યવહાર સંકેત નહીં કહેવાય બેન. And I know because this is Patrank 751.
Can you explain the question in English before you answer it?
Yeah. What she's saying, that in Kripalu Dev, it says that you can have a conventional perspective and you can have right faith from conventional perspective. And actually in the Patrank 751, Kripalu Dev described 3 types of Samyak Darshan. And in the first form of Samyak Darshan, he says that in general, the essence of that statement, I can't remember the exact wording, but the essence of the statement says that when you have faith on the omniscient Lord and Holy Scripture and the enlightened monks, then it's called first part of a Samyak Darshan. When you are having the determination made about the real nature of the soul and now you are contemplating on it, then it's called second form of our Samyak Darshan. And when you have the experiencing of the soul, that's called the third Samyak Darshan. There are not 3 Samyak Darshan. They are explained from 3 different perspectives, and first 2 perspectives are conventional perspective.
તો બી અર્ધપૂતગલ પરાવર્ત થઈ જાય સમય?
No. Ben, I can explain to you. Just remember one thing. That
Kirit, let me give you the reason I'm asking you. We had a Samyak Darshan Shibir, and Smruti ji from Dharampur came.
Yeah.
This was my question, and she said that Vyavhar Samyak Darshan hoy તો બી આપણો ટાઈમ અર્ધપૂતગલ પરાવર્ત થાય. So I could not understand that if there is no સ્વસંવેદન, how can that? So it's only on vichar level, the Vyavhar Samyak Darshan.
No, but remember, Vyavhar Samyak Darshan means conventional right faith is only called conventional when it is associated with the absolute. વ્યવહાર સમ્યક દર્શનની ઉપમા ત્યારે જ અપાય જ્યારે નિશ્ચય સમ્યક દર્શનની પ્રેઝન્સ હોય તો.
પછી નિશ્ચય હોય એટલે તો સ્વસંવેદન થઈ ગયું.
Yes. Now Now, what is Kripalu Dev coming? What is Kripalu Dev driving at it? Means he tells that Patrang 751, go through the third paragraph, I think third paragraph, that first Samyak Darshan is a reason for the second. Second Samyak Darshan is a reason for third Samyak Darshan. Means when your absolute understanding of the soul substance, let's say that I experience my soul substance right now, then every activity that I performed before, when I had the experiencing of a soul substance, means atyare mane samyak darshan thayu, atmani anubhuti thai, at that time, everything from before can be called as a Vyavhar Samyak Darshan from Bhut Naigam Nai. Now, I'll try to speak in English. First, let me just speak in Gujarati to explain to you first.
Okay.
નિશ્ચય સમ્યક દર્શન થયું અત્યારે હાલમાં આ પળે થયું તો એના પૂર્વની બધી પ્રક્રિયાઓને વ્યવહાર સમ્યક દર્શનનો આરોપ આપવામાં આવશે.
બરાબર.
કેમ કે નિશ્ચિત હવે અને એ ભૂત નૈગમ નહીંથી એટલે અત્યારે થયું ત્યારે એને સમ્યક વ્યવહાર સમ્યક આરોપ આપ્યો. જો સમ્યક દર્શન નથી થયું, બે વ્યક્તિ છે અહીંયા અને બે વ્યક્તિમાં એકને સમ્યક દર્શન થયું, બીજાને નથી થયું, બંનેની એક જ સરખી પ્રક્રિયા થઈ છે. બંનેની એકને સમ્યક દર્શન થયું, બીજાને નથી થયું. જેને સમ્યક દર્શન થયું એની બધી ભૂતકાળની ક્રિયાઓને વ્યવહાર સમ્યક દર્શનનો ભૂત નૈગમ નહીંથી આરોપ આપવામાં આવશે. જ્યારે જેને સમ્યક દર્શન નથી થયું એની સેમ પ્રક્રિયાને પણ વ્યવહાર નહીં પણ નહીં કહેવામાં આવે.
બરાબર.
કે વ્યવહાર 11મી ગાથામાં સમયસારમાં કહ્યું કે ભૂતાર્થ સમ્યક દર્શન ભૂતાર્થ છે અને વ્યવહાર નહીં અભૂતાર્થ છે. 12મી ગાથામાં એમ પણ કહ્યું કે વ્યવહાર નહીં જાણવા યોગ્ય છે, આદરવા યોગ્ય નથી. એટલે એક આપણે એ પ્રિન્સિપલ ખ્યાલ રાખવો પડશે બેન. હવે now I'm trying to convey this same thing to Preeti. What it says, if you have absolute right faith right now, at this moment it occurred, then all the activities of auspiciousness I performed before, they will be labeled as having conventional right faith from past perspective. In the past, I did all the activity. We are having two souls are doing exact same kind of activities right now. All the auspicious activities, both the souls are doing together exact same way. And this soul ends up getting experience of the soul, means he experiences eternal soul substance. Then all his previous activities can be labeled as conventional perspective, because he has absolute perspective occurred over here. And that's why from this point onwards here, all these past activities can be called as a conventional perspective, because ultimately it ended up with the absolute perspective. This guy has done exact same thing, but he did not get experience. So all his activities cannot even be called conventional perspective, because conventional perspective is always associated with the absolute perspective. You cannot have a conventional perspective without having presence of absolute perspective. That's why Nai Vyavastha, partial point of view, starts only from the fourth spiritual development state, because in the fourth spiritual development state, there is an experiencing of the soul substance. Everything I can perform right now, and I won't get any experience of the soul substance, it cannot be called Vyavhar Samkit. It cannot be called conventional right faith. This has to be clarified. This has to be understood. Who is Kripaladi is talking from which perspective? I had to get understanding from that I had to go into Kripaladi's heart to see what he was thinking at that time. Because remember, speaking is writing is one thing, and writing, and that is answering somebody's question that we don't know what was the question, what Kripaladi was answering in 751 Patrang. But we have to understand the reality of the fact, absolute perspective has to be present to label as something as a conventional perspective.
એટલે આમાં 5 સમય આવી ગયા. પેલામાં વ્યવહાર, એમનું એવું કેવું હતું કે વ્યવહાર સંકેત એટલે વિચારના લેવલ પર.
તો વિચારના લેવલ પર તો એને તો આપણે રિફ્લેક્ટિવ થોટ કહ્યું, એટલે વિકલ્પ દશા થાય. વિકલ્પ દશામાં નિર્વિકલ્પતા નથી.
હા, એટલે એ ક્લિયર કર્યું કે વ્યવહાર સંકેત હોય ત્યારે સ્વસંવેદન નથી, ખાલી વિચાર લેવલ પર છે.
But see, you are already
answering. સમજી, મને તમારો પોઈન્ટ સમજ પડે છે. એટલે તો પછી એ વાત બરાબર નથી, મારા મગજમાં નહોતું બેસતું.
You already gave the answer in your own statement કે જ્યારે વિચાર દશા છે ત્યારે નિર્વિકલ્પતા નથી. મીન્સ કે એકવાર નિર્વિકલ્પતા આવી ગઈ છે પછી હું વિચાર દશામાં છું. એક વખત નિર્વિકલ્પ દશા થઈ ગઈ છે પછી હું વિકલ્પ દશામાં છું. તો વિકલ્પમાં નિર્વિકલ્પતા નથી, પણ એને વિકલ્પ નિર્વિકલ્પતા સાથેનો છે એટલે એને વ્યવહાર કરવો છે.
બરાબર.
And I'm very happy that you brought this point. Somebody else also raised the same issues to me other day. But this is the meaning we have to understand. I mean, remember, we do not have to walk out with the idea that, okay, Dev Shastra Guru Shraddha Kari, to mane samyak darshan thai go. So remember one thing. How many times we went to Tirthankar Bhagwan Samaysar so far? Infinite times. Means when I went to Samaysar of Bhagwan means an omniscient Lord, and he is my true teacher also, and true teacher as being an omniscient Lord, and when he says Omkar Dvani, then the scripture gets generated from there, and I'm sitting in that assembly. Why did I not get Samyak Darshan at the time? Dev Shastra Guru Shraddha to hati mane. My faith was there for the omniscient Lord, holy scripture, and enlightened monks. Why did I not get the right faith at the time? Because I was not ready. My Purusharth was not there. And same, that Marichi sitting in the Rishabdev Samasaran, and he has everything present. Dev Shastra Guru, they are present in front of him, and he did not get Samyak Darshan at the time. He did not get experiencing of the self at the time. And in the lion's life, when he's in jungle, when he just had killed the deer, there is a meat in the mouth, and blood is also coming out of the mouth. And at that time, 2 enlightened monks, they come down and they give the discourses to him, and he ended up getting Samyak Darshan. Why? How? Because of his own Purusha, because of his own experiencing the self. So those are the kind of things we have to keep in our mind. So, all right. So we can just continue going this way. So our aim is to have obtained right faith by bringing my faith to eternal soul substance, and that will give me right faith. Now, up until now, we talked the Gatha, means meaning of this stanza only. We have not touched the critics, means the Amrit Chandra Acharya Dev wrote down these critics. We have not touched. Now we start that one. So what is that one? It says 9 reals are present in the soul in the form of modes. As we said, we have done whole hour of discussion. 9 reals are present in the soul in the form of modes. Okay. because they are in the modes, they are divisional aspect, and they are considered as conventional point of view. These remember, I read Tattvat Sutra. I read 9 reals. That what is the astro? Five points of astro are there. 4 ways bondage can occur. 57 ways the samvar can occur, and 12 contemplation can give nature and everything. I knew everything, but they are known from the modal perspective, and they are not going to give me Samyak Darshan, right faith, because it's a divisional aspect. I knew everything. That's why they're conventional perspective. Now, giving up the divisional aspect and bringing attention to the eternal soul substance is known as Bhutarth Drashti, or real faith form, or it is also called pure point of view, or it's called Suddhanai. Giving up the divisions and making indivisibility soul substance and bring my attention to that one, that's a Bhutarth Drashti, or real Drashti, real faith, or Samyak Darshan, and or Dravya Drashti, or whatever name you want to give it to them. I was in Songarh, and it was so nice to see on the 4 different boards, big boards are there on the walls written, and Dravya Drashti is Samyak Drashti. It's written there. It's a Gurudev's statement. Dravya Drashti aids Samyak Drashti. Means when I bring my attention to my eternal soul substance, that itself is a right faith. That's it. And so that's a Bhutartha Drashti also, a real faith form also. When the faith is directed to eternal soul substance, then right faith is generated. Okay, sure. Even with the right faith, modes are modes, and eternal soul substance is a substance. Remember, the house is house. House is a house. But when I talk from bedroom perspective, I give importance to this bedroom only. When I'm talking from kitchen perspective, I give importance to kitchen. But ultimately, they all are part of a big undivided house. 14853 North 12th Street. That is the address of this house. We are talking about that house. But now when we enter the house, we just say, okay, this is kitchen, this is bathroom, this is bedroom. We make the division. But it's in the all indivisible soul substance we create the division. Substance's conviction is felt in the mode, but substance by itself does not come in the mode. This sentence, this bullet, we have seen in the 6th and 7th stanza. Substance conviction is felt in the mode, but substance by itself does not come in the mode. Remember that mirror example we have taken, famous mirror example, and that peacock. Peacock is present here, and the mirror is over here. Peacock's illumination comes in the mirror. Peacock itself does not come in the mirror. When I'm taking Shutterbug and I take a picture of a given substance, then the illumination of that substance came on the film. That substance itself did not come into the film. Same way, when I have my mode acts as a mirror right now. Mode acts as a mirror right now, and this substance get illuminated in this mode. Substance itself does not come in the mode. Substance remains as substance, mode remains as mode, but in that mode, illumination of that substance came. So that's called substance's conviction. That's called the Gujarati word is pratiti. Once that pratiti comes, once that conviction comes, once I had the experiencing of my eternal soul substance, then on the back of my mind, I know I am the soul substance, I am the soul substance. Even though I'm doing auspicious, inauspicious inclination, all kind of crazy thing, but still I had a conviction that I'm a soul substance. For example, I could be shopping I could become angry. I can have possession. I can show my affection to my grandchild when I do all those activities. But in the back of my mind, it keeps on going, I am Kirit. About all this activity when I'm performing and somebody says, Kirit, I will just say, yes, that's me. Even though I'm sleeping, I'll wake up. Because the conviction is there within me that I'm Kirit. Same way here. When this is the mirror means more, and this substance, when substance gets illuminated here, and I experience with this more that my substance is here present with my with the soul substance is faith. When I direct my faith to the soul substance, means conviction occurs, means back of my mind, now from fourth spiritual development state, it keeps on going and saying that I'm the soul substance. I'm the soul substance. With my instability, I end up doing rag and dvesh. With my instability, I end up doing auspicious and inauspicious inclination. But I'm the soul substance. Right now, me as a soul substance, I'm in the wrong fate state right now. In the wrong fate state, I think that this is mine. Nobody can touch that. And I have my mindness to the material object, my mindness to this physical body. This physical body is me. If the pain occurs to this body, it occurs to me. If the pleasure occurs to the body, it's occurred to me. If the hunger occurs to the body, it occurs. That kind of a unity I have with this alien object. But when my faith is directed to the eternal soul substance, then my conviction changes. My conviction from me as a body now changes to me as a soul. And so it remains in the back of my mind, that conviction remains, that pratiti remains. Even though I'm doing all auspicious, inauspicious, my pratiti, my conviction is constantly remaining there. That's what it says. 9 reals are kind of more with their own eligibility. Oh, this is very important point came up now. Now, 9 reals, now tattva, they are occurring in the mode with their own eligibility. Means, for this soul substance has infinite modes pass by. Infinite times infinite modes will come in the future. And all those modes, they come in sequential order, one by one, in the prescribed fashion that they are supposed to come that way. How do we know all those things? Because omniscient Lord, in his omniscience knowledge, knows. Omniscient Lord, in the omniscient knowledge, knows. What does he know? That each and every substance has an infinite mode from past to present to future. And they come in the knowledge, it comes in certain sequence only, and that's way those modes will come in the sequence. Means each and every mode has its own eligibility. Since time infinite in the past means when I was in the nigod, means lowest form of life, since time infinite there, till I am here right now as a human, and in future I may become the liberated soul. Each and every mode are unique of its own, and they are not same as the other mode. They are unique. They had their own way of coming. They had their own characteristics. No two modes are exactly same. Remember, time infinite in the past, infinite times occurring in the future. All those things, but two modes have never been separate. Even I'm going to be in the Siddha Dasha. Each and every mode of a Siddha Bhagwan will be separate also. We already talked about that point before. Quickly, we'll just take that point right now. Siddha Bhagwan, his modes are pure. How come they're different? Yes, they are different. See, Siddha Bhagwan's mode they are also different. Each and every modes are different. Here, in human being, I can understand. In Nigoda, I can understand. In transmigrated soul, I can understand that different modes are they're unique of its own, and they are no two modes are same. But Siddha Bhagwan, come on, they have the same modes all the time. Not necessarily. Why? Because let's say 10 modes of the Siddha Bhagwan, for our understanding. They are pure. All 10 modes are pure. I'm taking 5th mode of the Siddha Bhagwan. In the 5th pure mode, Siddha Bhagwan has seen all the universe, their past, present, future mode. He is witnessing that right now. In the 6th mode, whatever was perceived in the 5th mode as a present state, in the 6th mode, that 5th mode of present state becomes a past state now. In the 5th mode, the 6th mode was perceived as a future mode. When he comes to the 6th mode, then that future perceived 6th mode becomes present mode, and so on and so forth. That's why Siddha Bhagwan also has a different modes every time. And so that's why all these modes, they have their own eligibility and their own uniqueness, and they are separate from any other modes, past, present, future. And the sequential order of the mode is extremely important point to understand. If we understand this point very well, lots and lots of confusion occurring come to an end, because modes come in their sequential order. I know question occurs in your mind right now. I can read your mind right now. Not that I have Manapariyagnan, but this is a question coming. If all the modes are predetermined, prefixed, they come in by their own eligibility, they come in a sequential order, then why do I have to do anything? If Samyak Darshan mode is going to occur, it's going to occur, so why should I worry about it? Yeah, you should not worry about it. Why should I do all this thing? Why should I put my precious hour and a half every week to listen to this kind of thing? I don't want to do all these things, because I'm not going to get Samyak Darshan right now, so I won't get it. If I'm going to get it next life, I will get it. Why to worry right now? You are right. But remember, I'm going to get it next life or time after or this life. I don't know that part. So I have to put my own purusharth. I have to put my own personal effort to go in that direction. If I go in this direction, then there is chances I will get the right faith mode in the future. If I'm going the destructive path, then my next modes will be definitely going to be deluding mode, and it's going to give me infinite transmigration. So that's why I have to do the purusharth. Purusharth means if the modes are coming in sequential order, means this book looks like an old book, kind of a used book and everything.
Right. જરા પાછું રિપીટ કરો ની ડિલુડિંગ મોડ થી પાછું રિપીટ કરો ની
જ્યારે તમારામાં જે પર્યાય બધી છે એ પર્યાય દરેક સમયે પોતાની પાત્રતાથી પોતાની યોગ્યતાથી ક્રમસર એક પછી એક આવશે. તો સમ્યક દર્શનની પર્યાય પણ જો મને આવવાની જ છે, તો મારે પુરુષાર્થ અત્યારે શું કામ કરવો? મારે શું કામ દોડાદોડી કરવી? મારે શું કામ ધર્મ કરવો? મારે આરામથી બેસીને ટીવી ના જોવા કરું કે મને જેમ ખાવાનું ફાવે, પીવાનું ફાવે, ફરવાનું એમ ના કરું? બરાબર છે, યુ આર રાઈટ. પણ ક્યારે સમ્યક દર્શનની પર્યાય એ તને ખબર નથી. તો તારો એફર્ટ જો એ તરફનો હશે તો તારા ચાન્સીસ છે કે તને સમ્યક દર્શન મળશે. તારા પ્રયત્ન બધા ખોટા જ છે તો તારો રસ્તો ખોટો છે. તને અનંતનો ટ્રાન્સમાઇગ્રેશન, અનંતનો સંસાર તને મળશે જ. બીજી વસ્તુ, other thing, that my modes are prefixed. Same way this book's modes are also prefixed. This book was a brand new 2 years back. Now it becomes old, and in the future it will start tearing its pages, everything, and it may just get destroyed. Those modes are fixed for the book also. All the modes of this phone are fixed also. Everything, all the substances modes are fixed. So who am I to change the mode of this book right now? Can I change any of this book's mode? No. If I can't change any substance of the universe and their mode, which they are prefixed, who am I to change? It cannot be changed, right? So my affinity from all the universal substances comes to an end, and I said I can't do anything about it. So my ownership on all the universal substances get reduced, and now I'm coming within myself. Now when I'm within myself, can I change my mode or not? Well, my modes are also prefixed, predetermined, and they will come in the sequential order only. So I have no right to change any of my modes. So then what do I do then? Well, nothing else is from alien objects of universe, my attention is gone. From my own modes, my attention is gone. Only the thing remains is pure soul substance. And when I bring my faith to my pure soul substance, eternal soul substance, that's called Purusharth. Means not doing anything is called Purusharth. That means self-effort. And with that thing, next mode coming out is a pure mode of Samyak Darshan. So those are the things that we have to keep thinking about it. So 9 real circumstances mode with their own eligibility. That's what it tries to tell us over here. I think we will stop over here. If there's a question, we can take and see what we can come out with. Because this 13th stanza, also Gurudev said that the few stanzas in the Samaysar, they are very important. This one is one of those important stanzas. 6th one, 11th one, 13, 38, 73, and 308 to 311, and all the stanzas are very, very important. So we have to make all our effort so much to have our foundation stone become very, very strong. So this because when we listen to this thing, when we understand all this thing, then we question somebody, or we try to understand what perspective other person is speaking, and that discrimination occurs in our mind because now we know what is reality. Any questions? If not, then we can do closing, okay? जावाणी के ज्ञान से सूझे लोकालोक, सोवाणी मस्तक नमो सदा देत हूँ ढम. 9 times नमो का मंत्र. Jai Jinendra, Mitchai Dukram. Thank you.